Welcome back. This is Chapter 6, The Hundred Dresses, Part 2, written by Albasar Esther. And now, I'm going to explain page number 76 to you. So here we go. There was no doubt about it. The Petronskys were gone. How could they ever make amends? They turned slowly and made their way back down the hill. So here these lines say, they were now very much sure that the Petronskys had left the place. Now there appeared a serious question before them. They were clueless as how they could ever tell Wanda that they were not the same girls who used to taunt her but had transformed themselves into nice girls who had left for everyone. With a sorrowful heart, they turned about and made their way home slowly. Next part. Well, anyway, said Peggy, she's gone now, so what can we do? Besides, when I was asking her about all her dresses, she probably was getting good ideas for her drawings. She might not even have won the contest otherwise. So here these lines say, now, trying to cover the disappointment of not meeting her, she said dejectedly but with a sense of pride, that they could do nothing now. Further, carrying on with the same lace of conceit, she emphasized the point, saying that probably she was getting good ideas for drawing while they asked her about the 100 dresses. Without her inspiration in the form of taunting, she might not have won the contest. Next part. Maddie turned this idea carefully over in her head, for if there were anything in it, she would not have to feel so badly. But that night she could not get to sleep. She thought about Wanda and her faded blue dress and the little house she had lived in. And she thought of the glowing picture those 100 dresses made all lined up in the classroom. So here these lines say, Peggy's words worked like a solace for Maddie. She took Peggy's logic in right spirit, but she could not go to sleep. Wanda's thought returned to her mind repeatedly. She thought of her faded blue dress and the little house she lived in. Then she visioned the bright picture of the 100 dresses she designed, and all of which were lined up in the classroom. Now next part. At last, Maddie sat up in bed and pressed her forehead tight in her hands and really thought this was the hardest thinking she had ever done. After a long time, she reached an important conclusion. She was never going to stand by and say nothing again. So here, these lines say, ultimately, she sat up in bed and pressed her forehead tight in her hands and thought for a while again, unable to get asleep. This was the hardest thinking she had ever done in her life after a very long time, and then reached an important conclusion. The decision she made was she was not going to support any perpetrators of wrongdoing and would protest it vehemently, very strongly. Next part. If she ever heard anybody picking on someone because they were funny looking or because they had strange names, she would speak up, even if it meant losing Peggy's friendship. She had no way of making things right with Wanda, but from now on she would never make anybody else that unhappy again. So here these lines say, she resoluted to speak up if she ever noticed anybody teasing or abusing other person only because they were funny looking or had a strange name. She would not hesitate to do this even at the cost of Peg's friendship. She repented her action against Wanda, though she could not correct that. She would make sure she made none unhappy again. So this is all for now. Thank you.